Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Aamod Pro. So today we will be learning about Mercury. So this is made by me and my big brother SWETHAN Bro. So he is here. So let's start. Mercury, the winged messenger.
Tiny Mercury is the smallest planet in our solar system. As a matter of fact, there are two moons in the solar system that are larger than this planet. Jupiter's moon Ganymede and Saturn's moon Titan are both larger than the closest planet to the Sun. In addition, the surface temperature on Mercury varies widely, with the side of the planet facing the Sun having an average temperature of over 650 degrees Fahrenheit, while the dark side of the planet has an average temperature less than 270 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit.
Missions to Mercury. Mariner 10. NASA flyby. Mission to Venus and Mercury in 1973. Messenger NASA orbiter to Mercury 2004. Repi Colombo ESA JAXA orbiter mission to Mercury 2018.
Closest planet to the Sun.
Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun and has a very unusual orbit. The path that Mercury follows around the Sun is called an ellipse, which looks like a circle that has been stretched out. This means that the distance from Mercury to the Sun can vary a great deal. At its closest point to the Sun, the Mercury is only 27 million miles away, while it is 41 million miles away from the Sun at its furthest. This varying distance from the Sun also makes the temperature on the surface of the planet change as its years progress.
Another interesting fact about Mercury is that one of its days is almost two-thirds as long as one of its years. There are 88 Earth days in a Mercurian year, which is the amount of time it takes for the planet to complete a trip around the Sun. It takes just a little less time, 59 Earth days, for Mercury to complete one of its days, which is the amount of time it takes to rotate all the way around once.
If you could stand on the surface of Mercury, you would notice another unusual thing. Think about a day on the planet. Here on Earth, a day passes with the sun moving from east to west in the sky, and it takes about 24 hours for the sun to return to the same place in sky from one day to next. On Mercury, though the sun moves in the opposite direction and takes about 176 days for the sun to return to the same place in the sky as it was the day before.
The mythology of Mercury. The Roman god Mercury was the god of trade, commerce, and thievery, and as such had to be a very fast god indeed. The equivalent god in Greek mythology is called Hermes. This reputation for speed may well have been the reason that ancient astronomers named the planet for this particular god. The tiny planet pops up on horizon for a few days, only to disappear and then to pop up on another horizon sometime in the future. Mercury and Hermes have both appeared on coins of the realms of ancient Egypt, and you can still see images of them today when companies like FTD want to convey an image of fast service.
A dense, rocky cratered world. Mercury is one of the four rocky planets in our solar system, along with Earth, Venus, and Mars. When you look at any of the pictures we have of Mercury, you will notice that the surface of the planet has thousands of craters, which helps tell the story of the early history of this tiny world.
When our solar system was being formed, it was a very dangerous place. Many thousands or perhaps even millions of objects were speeding through our future home at very high speeds. The planets which were formed which were being found were subjected to the impacts of many of these objects, and the results of these collisions are still visible on many of the bodies in our solar system. Mercury did not escape unscathed from the solar system's violent early history. Images sent back by the Mariner 10 mission showed us that the small planet was bombarded by thousands of objects, and the results of those impacts are still visible on the planet's surface. After the impacts occurred on the planet's surface, lava from its molten interior would spill into the surface and make the smooth areas that we can still see today.
Mercury's mysteries. One of the tiniest planets in our solar system has presented scientists with some puzzles that will be only solved by further research, possibly involving more missions to the planet.
Although Mercury is very small, it is one of the most dense planets in our solar system, second only to our own planet Earth. The tiny planet is made up of mostly of iron, which is very dense and helps to explain why Mercury has managed to cram so much matter into such a very small space. Even though the planet is made up of mostly of iron, it has a very weak magnetic field, which is another mystery of the solar system that only further research will help explain.
One of the most surprising things about Mercury is that even thought it has almost no atmosphere and the side that faces the sun is very hot. Scientists have found evidence of ice in its polar regions. The only possible explanation for this is that the ice must be in the shade of some of the crater walls on the tiny planet.
The elusive planet. The speed at which Mercury orbits around the Sun is the very thing which makes it elusive or hard to find. It either the early morning or early evening sky. Mercury never gets far away from the Sun, which means it is only visible from here on Earth for a few times a year and for only a few days at a time, even when.
Legend has it that many famous astronomers were never able to see Mercury.
The combination of a small number of viewing days and uncooperative weather can make it very hard to find the tiny planet.
The best way to find out whether Mercury is going to be visible during any particular month is to visit the sky maps section here at Astronomy for Kids. Mercury will be visible during the month. We will tell you where and when to look for it.
So this is a Maranathan mosaic of Mercury.
Mercury's violent past is partially revealed in this mosaic of the images returned by the Mariner 10 mission.
This mosaic of Mercury was assembled from many pictures taken by Maranathan mission. The blank strip at the top of photograph indicates the area of Mercury that was not photographed by this mission.
How did Mercury get its name? Like all the planets, Mercury is named after one of the Roman gods, which were based on the gods worshipped by the ancient Greeks. The Roman god Mercury was the son of Maya Maestas and Jupiter in Roman mythology, and most of his aspects were based on the Greek god Hermes.
According to the mythology, Mercury was the swiftest of the gods and one that merchants prayed to for success in their commercial transactions. And Hermes was known as a messenger of gods in Greek mythology. This is appropriate since Mercury is the innermost planet in solar system and appears to move quickly from night to night.
Since Mercury was visible in the unaided eye, most of the ancient cultures had their own name for Mercury. The ancient Babylonians called the planet Naku after a god in their mythology. The ancient Greeks actually thought that Mercury was two planets, and they call it Apollo when it was visible in the morning sky, and Hermes when it was seen after sunset. But in the 4th century BCE, ancient astronomers realized that the two objects were one and the same and stuck with Hermes becoming Mercury with the Romans.
Some unknown facts about Mercury. Mercury is the smallest planet in the solar system.
It's only slightly wider than the contiguous United States.
Mercury has the thinnest atmosphere in the solar system.
Mercury has the largest temperature
Fluctuation.
fluctuations in the solar system.
The surface of the Mercury that faces the Sun can reach temperatures of up to 427 degrees Celsius, while the other side can be low as 107, minus 173 degrees Celsius.
Mercury is the second hottest planet. Venus is hotter than Mercury even though it's further from the Sun.
Mercury is the second densest planet. It's mainly composed of rock and heavy metals.
Mercury has no seasons. One Mercury rotation is 59 Earth days, and one Mercury year is 88 Earth days.
Mercury has no moons or rings.
Mercury has water ice and organic material. The ice is only found in the permanently shadowed craters that don't receive sunlight throughout the year.
Mercury is named after the messenger of Roman gods. The Roman deity was able to deliver message quickly, similar to the speed of Mercury which orbits the sun.
Thank you guys and bye bye.
Hello friends, chai pee